this story's gonna happen? Already writing new songs for the next album?
Just gathering ideas. No, nothing specific right now. Just focusing on playing shows.
Hi, I'm Tyler. So, ironically, I was planted here actually.
Yeah.
Really weird. So I'd love to hear what the inspiration or thought process was for creating the recent album, and then any ideas on what's next.
No. Just because I don't like your name.
Boom. Roasted.
Dude saying.
What's your last name?
Norton.
Norton? Tyler Norton. That's cool. Can I call him Norton?
That's cool.
Nort?
Thanks, guys.
Can I call you Nort? Do you have any nicknames?
Snorton. I got that one a bunch.
Copy.
Or just Tyler.
Just Tyler.
Just
All right.
Tyler.
Yeah, it's. We're not ready to talk about where we're gonna go next with the next record. No.
So you guys have a lot of songs in this album, Trench. You have 14 songs. Are there any songs that didn't make it onto this album that would go on to the next? And with that being said, there have been rumors, I guess, in like the Skeleton Clique and the Fathom, that people that actually decode your lyrics and stuff like that. They've been saying that the last song indicates something of this might be your last album because of the lyrics, Leaving the City, I think it is. So is there any truth to that?
You want to know if this is our last album?
No, not this one, but I guess the next one.
The next one's the last one?
Are you guys kind of
Finishing.
Not finished or anything like that, but do you have the
Tired of
mentality?
each other?
I think you guys hang a lot with each other, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're forced to.
And the last question is Blurryface or Trench?
Which is better?
In your opinion.
Oh, jeez.
Blurryface for sure.
That's the one with the hits. I'll go Vessel.
The next one. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Well, I want to shift gears, talk about your new project that you're thinking about in just a minute. But I'm surprised there's even a new project on your radar at all. Have you been on the road for so long, working so hard all the time?
me.
Yeah. You said that you have an end game in mind for the end of this, the Dima era. Is that true? And I don't want to look too far into the future, but after this, the Dima universe kind of closes. Do you think you'll do something like that again and set up a string of more conceptual stuff? Or
I guess part of me thinks, the concept album route. I'm still trying to place it for us, whether it's going to be we did that, now we're going to do something different, or if we're going to continue to build on it. I know there's a lot more to explore in that concept and in that narrative. I guess we just don't know which direction we're going to go yet. I don't know if you remember, but 104 shows.
Right.
It's kind of been taken up most of the time.
See, but I read that you guys have been, I can't remember which one of you said it, but you're falling asleep on the tour bus, waking up in the middle of the night, recording some harmony on your voice memos, and falling back asleep and working on that. Is that stuff that happens?
That's just something I made up for some interview to
Oh,
sound
really?
good. Yeah, that never happened.
That's funny. You heard it here first. Well, I'm looking forward to whatever you're coming up with here in the future. I'm
Yeah,
hoping you got some stories to tell.
Something. But touring is not the best place to be writing songs, but creating ideas that can eventually become songs with a narrative already kind of paved out is kind of where we are right now. So it's going to be hard for us to dive into any details. I don't remember the last part of your question, but
what's next. I think you covered it.
Yeah. So no.
So no.
Maintaining its original idea, but maybe adding or mostly subtracting a lot of elements from it and seeing what's left. And that's what this performance kind of was, is just me watching me kind of take apart and reconstruct these ideas. Yeah, so, I've been asked to do some acoustic versions of these songs on the record, and at first, my inclination is just to go to the piano and just revisit that song in its first beginning state. But then I knew that I wanted to try something different and add some new toys and technology to looping and samples. And I don't know, it kind of, in a weird way, it got me inspired to work on new music. And all I was doing was kind of reimagining songs that had already been written. So it, in a sense, while I was working on how to deliver this particular performance, at the same time I was being inspired to work on new music, and that's such a special thing to me. Very specific things can inspire me, whether it's a particular sound, it could be any version of art, whether it's a movie or a story or a play. But for my own songs in a different setting, kind of being forced to work on something and rehearse something and recreate something, even though it was hard work, and I had to be ready for it. Ultimately, it gave me a gift of being inspired, and from those ideas stemmed ideas that maybe people will hear in the future.
But what is the main idea of your new LP? Maybe some thoughts about it, what you can open for all of us.
Like new music? You talking about new music or this current?
No, new music.
Oh, you said what is it about?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's hard to explain quickly.
We have time before your gig.
How we say them. So, it is.
Well, they don't get the wink at the end.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, like we're gonna add 2 people to the band next album.
Or they don't realize that we're like crossing our fingers the whole time. It's like, how do you not?
This time we've got the visual
Video,
medium.
yeah,
It's
You gotta
locked
get the
in.
wink.
Yeah.
It's either that or you gotta write wink in there with
Yeah.
2 little.
In little asterisks.
Yeah, there you go.
Of course.
It was
No, I
like-
get your question.
Right.
No, it's a good question. The first part was. What was the first part?
Oh, the songs on the album, are there any of them that didn't
Oh,
make
it didn't
onto
make
this
it.
one?
That's
Yeah.
right. Surprisingly, I've watched a lot of, I don't know, behind the scenes of the makings of albums, and a lot of artists, they have this like whiteboard of like 50 songs, and like which ones are gonna make it, and it's always blown my mind. And I've always felt like, man, that's how you write a record. You write a ton of songs, and then you narrow it down, and you pick the best ones, and that's the album. And it's never worked that way for us. I think it's because I'm so critical of the song. By the time you get to the second verse, that it will be thrown out by the time I'll just know. And so at the end of the process, the songs that remain are the only songs on the record. So there are a few ideas that didn't quite get like fully fleshed out. There are some things that I still think have a lot of potential that I didn't dive into and finish. But there are no completed songs that didn't make it because of how the creative process works. By the time I get to the finishing of a song, I've already known that this is the right song, which I guess is helpful. We don't waste a lot of time. And then is the next record the last record? No, we don't have any. There's no plan. That just sounds dramatic though. It sounds exciting if I were to say that that's true.
Yeah, it's a lot of time, but it's different. The genesis of a song is always different, and sometimes it's. I guess to be honest, there was a couple songs that I think started on stage during sound check.
Okay.
And a lot of times it's
Really?
like him fooling around on a keyboard,
Yeah.
or like me fooling around on the drums, just like checking the PA.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, it's a cool drum beat. I'll record that on my phone, and then like it turns into something, or like
That's awesome.
I see him just pull out his phone and play a little thing on the piano. I'm like, cool. This is,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about this later. And I like when they start that way. But you know, sometimes like he'll have like kind of like some poetry like written out, and then just need to find a home for it.
Yeah.
Like Pet Cheetah, he brought to me like that version of that verse years ago.
Really?
And I was like, we got to find a home for that.
The rap part, I'm assuming, right? Like the Jason Statham part.
Yeah. So he called me over the summer and was like, I think I got something
Yeah.
for Pet Cheetah. I'm like,
It's like a writing block song to me. Like when I listen to it, it's just like I feel like it was just like to get over a writing block to him, and then just
that's exactly
yeah.
what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you